All right, Jeff, thank you. Sports in just a moment.
Lots of racing action out at Beach Bend today, and the Hawks give the Celtics a big scare. We'll tell you all about it. The Boston Garden was the site today for Game 7 of the Eastern Conference semifinal series between the Celtics and the Atlanta Hawks. This game was close all the way, neither team able to pull away, but down the stretch it was Larry Bird taking control for Boston and Dominique Wilkins for Atlanta. Bird scored 20 of his 34 points in the fourth quarter, and Wilkins finished with 74 points. In the end, though, it was Bird and the Celtics who came out on top by a score of 118 to 116. It's the fifth straight 7-game playoff victory for Boston, and it will put them up against the Detroit Pistons for the Eastern Conference Championship. Rex Chapman is one of 48 players to make it into the second phase of the Olympic basketball trials. Other players of interest that made it into the second round: Danny Ferry from Duke, Danny Manning, Dyron Nix from Tennessee, big man Will Perdue from Vandy, and Keith Smart from Indiana are just a few big names that are trying to earn a spot on the 12-man team that will compete in Seoul, South Korea this summer. Over 400 motorcycles were entered in the Super Nationals held at Beach Bend Raceway Park this weekend. There was a near-capacity crowd on hand for the international event. Drag bike enthusiasts from Jamaica, Canada, and all across the U.S. were in town. And when it was all said and done, it was Bobby Baker who took first place in the funny bike on his Kawasaki. Dwight Selden from Winchester, Virginia took top honors in the Pro Comp class. Roger Burrell raced down the track 157 miles an hour on his Suzuki to take first place in the top gas division. David Schultz was the fastest in the Pro Stock class, and Dusty McKenzie took first place honors in the Super Eliminator class on the Suzuki. Those were just a few of the many racing results at Beach Bend this afternoon. And while we were there, we asked a few of these racing fanatics what life was like in the fast lane.
Oh, it's a rush. It shakes your body all through first gear and high gear. It's just everything goes by so quick you don't have much time to concentrate, but just on the track.
Well, it's unlike anything you've ever felt before. It's just, I mean, it's the greatest thing in the world.
Well, you get a good adrenaline rush, you know, going through the top end. You hit fifth gear and you're going through the trouts. You look over and you got the other guy with you. Speed's great if it's on a racetrack.
And some racing on the water at Riverside Park in Bowling Green today. The Southern Kentucky Paddlers Society hosted the Kentucky State Canoe Championships. About 40 paddlers throughout the Southeast participated in the event.
Real good turnout. Had a couple people come in from Florida and throughout the state. Arkansas, Missouri, we had a couple people from those states come in, so we felt it was a good turnout.
Turning now to baseball, all the action took place this afternoon in the major leagues. At Cincinnati's Riverfront Stadium, the Cubs and the Reds played the third game of their weekend series. Cubs rookie Mark Grace drove in 4 runs, 2 of them coming off this third-inning blast over the right field wall. Chicago pitcher Greg Maddox got the other Cubs RBI on this single up the middle as he and his teammates took a 5-1 win over the Reds. And the rest of the scoreboard went like this. Atlanta over the Pirates by 2, and the Braves fired their manager Chuck Tanner tonight as well. Russ Nixon is expected to take over. The Astros slipped by the Cards 2-1. New York beats Los Angeles 5-2. San Diego kills the Phillies 9-2. And San Francisco defeats the Expos by 5. And in the American League at New York's Yankee Stadium, the only 2 runs of this game between the A's and the Yanks came in the bottom of the 4th when New York's Jack Clark belted this home run over the left field bleachers. Pitcher John Candelaria scattered 2 hits and struck out 13, including this one to end the game as the Yanks blank Oakland 2-0, the first time the A's have been shut out this season. New York won 2 of the 3 meetings this weekend between the 2 divisional leaders, and the rest of the American League looks like this. Boston blows out California. The Birds over Seattle 7-2. Baltimore is now on a roll. They have 2 straight. The Twins get revenge in the first game 15-5, and in the late game, Gary Gaetti hit a grand slam in the 9th to win it. Detroit over to Chicago. The Tribe over Kansas City by 1 in 10, and the Brew Crew beats Toronto 7-1. And yesterday, the 8th annual American Businesswomen and Cardinals of Kentucky golf tournament teed off at Paul Walker Golf Course. About 60 golfers took to the fairways in the 18-hole event. Not only were there lots of golf, but there were some nice prizes as well raffled off. Mike Peterson won a $200 cash prize. Kathy Smith came away with a new golf bag. She was the organizer, but Everything was legal on that. The four-man scramble tournament was won with a low score of 60 by the team of Lawrence Helm, Stephen Renfro, Wellman Britt, and Chuck Cowan. And for those of you that are interested, Warren East will be taking on Paducah Tillman in the state semifinals this Wednesday at 5 o'clock in Owensboro.
Okay, I'll jot that on the calendar.
Do that.
Bill, thanks. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
The athletic part of the Highland Games came right out of the farmlands of Scotland. The hammer throw from the blacksmith shop, the cornerstones were used as balancing weights for scales. And in their day, the Scotties had rocks in their gardens too. So whatever they had on hand is what they used for their games.
The Scottish people are very competitive. They're very warlike people, really. If they didn't have somebody else to fight, they would fight each other. But they are very competitive. They were proud of their athletic prowess, and these games are an outgrowth of that.
5 out of the top 10 men in the United States who specialize in these events were participating in the Glasgow Highland Games, and they say it's getting better every year.
The competition here, the athletes they bring in are just as good as anywhere. And the hospitality and the way the athletes are treated here, it's just fantastic. This is my favorite ones. That's why I'm back again this year.
You've got men out here from 220 to 380 pounds performing some very physically demanding events. But if they're so big and strong, why they got these funny skirts on?
Why? I guess it's because it's a tradition. It's probably cooler than long pants, too.
No, once they look you over, they decide it'd be best not to say too much.
If anybody can pick a telephone pole and throw it, I don't think no one's going to say much about it.
You can't argue with that. Reporting from the Highland Games in Glasgow, I'm Bill Caudill, News Center 13.
Bill Dunn just did, I think, a smart thing. He was not really ready.
The Hilltoppers have been swinging some hot bats of late. You'd have to go 8 players deep to find anyone batting under 300. The club collected 48 hits and 40 runs in their 3-game series with South Alabama, and senior leadership and experience seems to be the force behind the Easton.
I think we're doing a lot of things right. We're getting a good combination of pitching, we're playing great defense, and like you said before, our bats are coming alive. Everybody's getting hot at one time, which is we haven't had all year. We've had a couple guys hot here, a couple guys hot there, but we haven't had it all at once, and finally everybody's doing what we expected them to, so we're playing good ball.
I don't know, maybe I just feel I'm more confident at the plate. I've got more experience. I know more or less what a pitcher's going to throw in certain situations, and I'm just sitting on a pitch that I'm looking for.
Senior catcher Mike Latham is a big contributor to the Hilltopper cause. Last week, Mike batted .562, had 3 home runs and 13 RBIs. But the seniors aren't the only ones hitting the long ball over this fence. Freshman Chris Turner leads the Sunbelt in home runs with 15. And you ask who's second? Senior Gary Muller. Reporting from Nick Dennis Field, I'm Bill Caudill, News Center 13. When Cecil Roy bought 5 entry badges for himself and the rest of his family the day he entered the Crappie-Thon USA fishing tournament, he had high hopes of hauling in some money on his line. Well, last Saturday, Cecil reeled in Tangle-Free Tom, a fish out of Lake Cumberland worth $20,000.
When I pulled the fish out, I was tickled to death. I'd caught one with a tag. You know, I saw a little tag sticking out, and you know, we went ahead fishing about a mile, probably 30 more minutes, and I got kind of worried it was going to die, you know, and just to thinking about it, you know, it's just, we just decided we'd go and check it in, and sure enough, it took about 2 hours to really find out for sure it's tangle-free, but it's just something else.
Cecil wasn't kidding when he said something else. Johnson Reels Corporation sponsors the Crappie-Thon, and they guarantee a $30,000 bonus if you're using a Johnson reel. And sure enough,
that's a pole that won me $30,000. Sure is. Which is a Country Mile 6 and made by Johnson, tangle-free reel, and that's worth $30,000.
That's $50,000 for one fish. And Cecil Roy could hardly believe it when they handed him the check.
I appreciate you. Appreciate it. Oh, Lord. What about that now?
Since Cecil Roy snagged Tangle-Free Tom here on Lake Cumberland last Saturday, says he has friends he never knew he had. But not only was Cecil Roy in the right place at the right time, he was fishing with the right pole. Reporting from Lake Cumberland, I'm Bill Caudill, News Center 13.
go to the championship. Well, right now it is Steve Pate. He leads by 1. There are 4, just a shot back. This is the final round. It's a gorgeous afternoon. We'll be back in just a moment to La Jolla, California.
Shearson Lehman Hutton, where we stand on the stock market. We disagree with the pessimistic view. We believe the worst is over, that we have seen the lows of this bear market. In our judgment, stock prices will rise to higher levels during the year. And the time to make long-term commitments to the stock market is now. Talk with us. Shearson Lehman Hutton, minds over money.
Does car shopping confuse you? If you've shopped, and I have, you'll find the one place where the confusion ends is your Buick dealer. That's why I just bought a brand new Buick Regal. Regal is actually priced under T-Bird and Cougar. The new Regal just looks like it costs thousands more. So don't get confused. Shop where you like, but start at your Buick dealer. The car is Regal, but the price sure isn't.
The great American road belongs to Buick.
At Sheraton, we know that little things mean a lot. That's why just one number gets you reservations at any Sheraton in the U.S. or 63 countries worldwide.
Right now, we're looking at the biggest putt of the day, Jay Haas for eagle, and he would then catch Steve Pate at 18 under, but it is a slippery devil.
Well, it's slippery. The ocean's to the right. Ball should break a little left, but some of these putts have been hanging a little to the right. We'll see. Oh, he didn't hit it. Did he hit it? Did he hit it? Yes, he did.
Gosh, it finally dropped. Oh, what a moment for Jay Haas. Hold on.